Hello, I'm Illusion Dispeller, and I'm going to be sharing part 9 of Safe People. And today is called What Are Safe People? Because we need to know what they are. We need to know what they look like so that we are attracting those types of people and not tolerating the other ones that are unsafe. So here we go. Of course, this reading comes from Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend, and the copyright is 1995. What are safe people? I, John, have a fitness fanatic friend named Mark who evangelizes me on the gospel of health whenever he has a chance. He's a lovable guy, but he's the kind who always finds a way to change conversation to exercise, diet, and vitamins. We were having breakfast one day and he began talking about his struggles with his wife, Diane. They were going through a painful period and having lots of conflict. Instead of giving advice, I listened and tried to understand what Mark was going through. As we talked, he expressed everything from sadness to frustration to anxiety. By the time we finished, however, his face had relaxed and he could actually smile and joke around. "You look like you're feeling better," I said. "Absolutely, I'm more encouraged," Mark said. "Wheat toast, fruit, and tea make me a new man." Then he looked at me and grinned sheepishly. "Oh, it might have helped to have someone to talk to," he admitted. Though Mark wasn't sure about that fact, I am. What happened at breakfast is that I acted as a safe person for Mark to confide in. Just as surely as we were taking our breakfast to sustain us physically, so we were talking to sustain ourselves emotionally. We were enjoying the great benefits of a safe relationship. What is a safe relationship? We like to safe relationship as one that does three things: draws us closer to God, draws us closer to others, helps us become the real person God created us to be. The Bible refers to these three areas of spiritual growth. We fulfill the greatest commandment to love God, Matthew 22:37 through 38. We keep the second commandment to love each other, Matthew 22:39. And we grow into the particular person that God created us to be, accomplishing the tasks He has designed for us, Ephesians 2:10. When we asked people to describe a safe person to us, they gave us these descriptions: a person who accepts me just like I am, a person who loves me no matter how I'm being or what I do, a person whose influence develops my ability to love and be responsible, someone who creates love and good works within me, someone who gives me an opportunity to grow, someone who increases love within me, someone I can be myself around, someone who allows me to be on the outside what I am on the inside, someone who helps me to deny myself for others and God, someone who allows me to become the me that God intended, someone who helps me become the me God sees in me, someone whose life touches mine and leaves me better for it, someone who touches my life and draws me closer to who God created me to be, someone who helps me be like Christ, someone who helps me to love others more. So this is what people's ideas were of a safe person. Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with all of them. I want to let you know that now. Okay. We would all want people in our lives that help us in these ways. Well, some of us would. But the problem is, how do we recognize them? What do we look like? What do they look like? Hold on a second. My kitty cat's at the window. Oh, come on. Okay. So what do they look like, safe people? We all struggle on different sides of the safe relationship issue. Some do not even think we need relationships with other people. They think the Lord is enough and that you should only trust in Him. Others think they must depend only on themselves. Still, others believe that the Bible teaches the value of relationships, but then they find themselves in hurtful relationships over and over. They pick hurtful friends, spouses, churches, work partners, spiritual leaders, and dating relationships. They seem to not have the ability to find and like safe people. Having a seemingly astounding talent for finding people that will ultimately hurt them, they repeat patterns over and over again and then become discouraged about relationships in general. So, for us to begin to utilize safe relationships, we need to first understand what a safe person is and why we need that kind of safety. The best example of a safe person is found in Jesus. In him were found the three qualities of a safe person: dwelling, grace, and truth. As John wrote, the Word became flesh and lived for a while among us. We've seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John 1:14. Dwelling refers to someone's ability to connect with us. Strong's Greek dictionary tells us that the Greek word used here means to encamp or reside. It says that the origins of the word have to do with the human body as the place where the spirit resides. What all of this means is that safe relationships are an aspect of the incarnational qualities of Jesus, for Jesus became present as a man in the flesh. They are able to dwell with us in the flesh. They're able to connect in a way that we know they are present with us. Many marriages begin to experience this lack of safety as one of the partners complain of things like, "They just aren't with me. I can't feel them in the way I used to," or "They seem so far away." Grace. The second safe quality Jesus exemplifies is grace. Grace is unmerited favor. It means that someone is on our side, that they are for us. Grace implies unconditional love and acceptance with no condemnation. Romans 8:1, Ephesians 4:32. Relationships in which people do not accept us without shame and condemnation are ultimately hurtful and do not produce growth. They require us to be different than we are in order to be accepted, and we are unable to use love that we must earn. Okay, hold the fort here. I'm sorry, but if you're going to be accepted in my inner circle of friends, you are going to be different, because I am a catalyst, and that is how I live in my relationships and exist in my relationships. I'm in it to change you, and I would hope you are in it to change me for the better as well. I don't believe that a perfect relationship or a safe relationship would not require you to be different than you are. The whole point of relationships is to grow, so I don't agree with this at all. We are unable to use love that we must earn. Not true. Trust and love and all those things are earned. They're not something that you can just kick somebody in the teeth over and over and keep being loved by them. Sorry, I don't buy that. So, again, I don't agree with the authors. Grace does the opposite. It says you're accepted just like you are and that you will not be shamed or incur wrath for whatever you are experiencing. Yeah, if you're experiencing it, not if you're perpetrating it, however. Okay. Truth. The third quality that Jesus embodied for us was truth. Truth implies many things, but in relationships, it implies honesty, being real with one another, and living out the truth of God. Many people think that safe relationships are relationships that just give grace without confrontation. But as we'll see later, these relationships are ultimately destructive as well. Okay, this book a lot of times contradicts itself. Here it's telling you, oh, we're just not going to give you grace, 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 and never confront you on your stuff. But earlier it said, oh, well, you don't want to have a friendship where they don't accept you as you are and don't require you to change. So which is it? In my book, I already told you where I stand on that. You're going to change if you're with me, or you probably won't last with me very long. Same with me. I expect to change in a relationship, or I wouldn't waste my time. That's just me. We need people in our life who will be honest with us, telling us where we're wrong and where we need to change. We need friends that walk according to the truth and live out the principles of God with us. This does not mean that they're not accepting, but it means that in their acceptance of us, they're honest about our faults without condemning us. Brothers, if someone is caught in a sin, you who are spiritual should restore him gently. But watch yourself, or you also may be tempted. True safe relationships are ones where we can speak the truth to one another, confronting each other as needed. Grace and the absence of condemnation allow us to do this with less fear than would occur in a condemning relationship. In the rest of this book, we will be examining different aspects of dwelling grace and truth. The calling of the Bible is that we need to be the kind of people to each other that Jesus is with us, people who dwell with each other in grace and truth. Okay. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with this chapter, and I almost did not even include it in my videos because I disagree so much with what they're saying. They're talking about this sloppy agape, greasy grace stuff that I don't agree with. I don't stand for. I don't believe in it. I don't live it. I believe in grace as far as if I meet you and you have problems, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to condemn you. I'm not going to say, well, I'm not going to have anything to do with you because you're fat, or I'm not going to have anything to do with you because you have a problem with such and such. I'm going to give you chances. But if you keep kicking me in the teeth after a while, gone. I mean, there comes an enough time for everybody. You can only put up with so much malarkey before you're finally like, you're not a safe person. Here they're talking about safe people having relationships, like each being able to confront the other, each being able to bring out the best in each other. So you got to take everything in balance. And sometimes these guys that wrote this book, doctors or not, go off the deep end one way or the other for me. I believe in grace, I believe in mercy, and I believe in love. But I also believe there are certain parts in a relationship that are earned. If you constantly backstab somebody, you constantly go around one way to their face and another way behind their back, they're not going to be your friend very long if they have any sense of self-worth. Spend your friendships on people that you have fun with, that yes, you can talk to each other openly, but not friendships where you're going to just ignore the fact that the guy has a stealing problem or a lying problem or promiscuous or whatever. Don't hang with those people. The Bible's also clear about fleeing youthful lusts and about who you should associate with and who you shouldn't. So all things in balance. Anyway, that's it for part 9. I'm going to go on to part 10 eventually, probably sometime soon. I don't know if it'll be tonight, but I'm going to at least get this uploaded. So thanks for watching. I know it's a short one, but hopefully it gives you some food for thought. God bless.